Testimony of Sabino, rescued from hell and taken to heaven by the Lord Jesus. Welcomed beloved, I did not believe in heaven and hell. I live life in rebellion and rejection of God. I thought He did not care about anybody. I had a lot of bitterness in my heart resulting from the issue and misfortune of life. I didn't want to have anything with God until I died. On that day I fell in a thick dark void in the pit of darkness and fire. I was confronted by the judges of hell. Finally I was sentenced to eternal torture in the sea of lava that was boiling in extreme temperature. I was desperate and hopeless. I came to understand that hell was real. But then it was too late. I was to be cast in the fire of hell. Demons were about to cast me to the sea of fire when I cried to Jesus Christ. As a result, the kingdom of hell was illuminated by an intense ray of light in the sky. I saw the demons of hell running away and standing in distance, and Jesus spoke to me in the light and promised to give me a second chance. I glorify God as I was overwhelmed with joy. Then there was a moment of silence, for He said nothing. I feared and I got worried. I thought the Lord had abandoned me again. Immediately He spoke again and said, I want you to know that you will go to the earth not because you are very beautiful nor because you are worthy. It's out of my love, Zavi. I said, Lord, I will do what you are asking me, but take me out of here first. I remember from the light the Lord said, come forth. I started to approach the glow that illuminated the abyss, and when I approached the light, brother and friend, the rays of light that lit the place disappeared, and the sky that was opened was closed. Things returned to normality, and there was absolute darkness. I felt a lot of fear, for the thick darkness of hell covered the place. I was sheltered by doubt. I said, the Lord just promised to take me out of this horrendous place, but where is He? It was in that time of anxiety that I saw a body of light moving above the sky. This celestial body of light was descending in an immense speed. When it got closer, I saw that it was not just a radiant light, for I saw an extraordinary character. He was covered by a brilliant, dazzling and bright light. I saw that he was dressed in a resplendent long white dress. It was really radiant and exceedingly white garment. I was observing this character in awe, for he was extraordinary and strikingly wonderful with white vestment, not a white like the one we know on earth, but a whiteness never before seen by men on earth. I remember that his hair was white, curly, whiter than milk. He had long beard which was white as his hair. When I saw his white hair and white beard, I said, he must be an elder. I can afford to call him an old man. However, I cannot describe his face, for there was intense ray of light that prevented me from seeing. I remember something happened to me when I wanted to look at his face. In fact, I tried hard to stare at his face. As a result, I felt his light burning my sight. I lost my vision instantly and I could only see darkness. I was scared. I felt pain in my eyes. I cried and I could not see anything. This has happened to me because I tried deliberately to look at his face that was covered by radiant light. I said, is this happening to me because I tried to watch his face? I was very afraid, for I did not see again. I spent about 10 minutes in darkness until my view came back. When I recovered the vision, I did not want to look at his face again. When he spoke to me, I looked at his garment that was radiating bright light. I noticed that the Lord who was in front of me never touched the ground in that place, and he remained in the air. As I stood before the Lord Jesus Christ beloved, there was pure radiance, splendor, and magnificence. The Lord said, Zavi, my son, if you knew how much I love you, you will never find yourself in this place today. If my children knew how much I love them, they won't find themselves in this situation. When I hear this word, I was confused. Jesus says to me, you are welcome, my son. Come here because it is necessary that you delivered the message to my people on the surface. Sincerely, I was excited. I felt a lot of joy and a lot of happiness in his presence. I could not walk because of the emotion of joy. I just stood there, seeing that I was not coming to him. Jesus came as far as I was. When the Lord came and he hugged me, and he tells me, fear not, I am with you. I want to explain, brothers and friends, when he hugged me, I felt what I never felt in my life. The love, the joy and happiness was bigger than ever in my existence. I started speaking in an unknown language. I started to feel a burning desire to come to the earth and apologize to my mother, to ask forgiveness to all the people that I caused pain and damage, for we did so much damage in the world of misery of sin. and I felt so much guilt and misery in my heart that he simply decided to forgive all my sin. I can say, brother and friend, it was the first time that I felt that love was the greatest thing. I would change it for nothing. Blessed be his name forever, for he pulls me from this place, and he say, come follow me, you will deliver my message to my people. I remember when he says this, brothers and friend. The infernal beast who stood in distance with the dwarves' demons say to the Lord, you cannot take him out of here, because he is dead already. Remember your word says that the one who practices sin is of the devil, and your words say that it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment. Zavi cannot leave this place because he is dead. Beloved, I remember when I heard these words I felt like my hope of returning to life was cancelled. I was emotional. Jesus did not talk much, he was very calm with much patience. This demon who was an infernal lion quoted Bible verse to demonstrate that I was condemned, and when he stopped speaking, the old man who was Jesus Christ asked him, have you finished talking? If that is the case, it's now my turn to talk. The beast say, certainly he is dead, and if he come back to life you would be violating the laws of death because it is appointed to men to die once. The Lord said to this demon, you should remember who has the power to give life and to remove, for I have the power to give life to whom I want and to take it away. Blessed be the name of God for all eternity, to him be all glory and all honor forever and ever. Brothers and friends, when the Lord said these words the beast could not talk anymore. The Lord held my hand, said, you will deliver the message to my people. Immediately we began to ascend upward. We rose beyond the stars. I could visualize the stars, for they were huge. They were gigantic and beautiful. I saw the sun in close range. It was clearly something creepy and inexplicable in the hands of the Lord. Then we passed beyond the stars. We reached a space vacuum of darkness where you do not see anything. It was absolute darkness. I could only see the ray of light produced by the Lord, and we were moving forward in a tremendous speed. I do not know how many kilometers per second, but we were moving very fast. We kept moving forward. We were rising upward, and after a long time, I started to observe a bright star. I began to visualize a single bright star. The more we were advancing towards that star, it got larger. The more we were approaching at distance, I saw that this bright star changed from looking like a star to looking like a bright and shining gold coin. It was extraordinary. As we approached the heavenly city, I began to hear a melody, an infinite song. Then I realized that I heard that before on the earth, for believers sing that song in funeral ceremony. I remember that song, for it will never be erased from my soul and my spirit. The melody say, beyond the sun I have a solar home, with millions of souls. They told me beyond the sun I have a home, a room, where I will fly for all eternity. When I leave the earth, when I saw the city I started to cry. Humans have no awareness about this place. In the past I doubted the existence of heaven. I did not know that everything was real. The old man now tells me, fear not, I am with you. As we were approaching the huge city of light, I could not see the end of it, and it was extraordinarily strikingly wonderful. I remember that the city had walls all around it, an extraordinary wall, and I was struck by the beauty of the wall. Brothers and friends, the wall of the city was embedded with precious stones like diamond, crystal and others heavenly material of different colors. I saw large stones. When I look at these precious stones from distance, they produce an extraordinary color. I was looking at multicolor light produced by the wall at distance. I remember I said, I am not worthy to see this. I am not worthy to be here. The Lord said to me, you are here because you have to deliver the message for my people. Then we arrived at the entrance of the city and we enter. There was no fear at the gate of heaven like in the gate of hell. There was a big pearly gate that was huge. When the Lord told me to get in, I was dazzled by the wall of the city that was generating thousands of colors. The material of this wall was impressive. It illuminated literally the city with shining lights. Something amazing. I wonder how is this done. I remember while we entered the golden city, there was before us an endless hallway, going to the end of the corridor. There were rooms to the right and to the left with wonderful gates. I do not know what material these gates were made from. I notice on all these gates were embedded symbols or letters, which I now understand to be Hebrew letters. The more I look, I understood the meaning of this letter. I was in wonder about the jasper wall and I asked what was it made of. It was in a matter so fine that cannot be found on earth. I had never seen anything similar. I wished to know more, but I didn't feel like asking the Lord. As I did not dare to ask him, I rubbed my hand over the walls of the city. I said, I have to know what it is, and as soon as my hand touched the wall I realized it was not wood, it was a cast metal. I don't know what metal it was. Everything in that place was beautiful in exaggeration. There is nothing with defect, everything is wonderfully shining. There was a celestial melody playing in the city, and I was in wonder and amazement. The beauty of that place dazzles me so much that I passed the Lord. I went in front of him looking at everything. I said, wow, never in my life I had dreamed or imagined something similar. It is more beautiful than what people account and more beautiful than what people think. As we continue walking down that hall, the old man stops and opens one of the many gates. While I was admiring everything, the Lord called me, but I ignore him. When he called me for the second time, I again ignore him, for I was still dazzled by what I was seeing. He called for the third time with authority and told me to come. I turn around and joined him. I wanted him to enter first, but he tells me to enter that room, that cannot be compared to a 5 or 7-star hotel. The whole earth does not have a beautiful facility in comparison to this place. When we got in the heavenly world, I was excited, and in my mind I wanted to see angels. I wanted to talk to them. I wonder if they will be like in television and in magazines. I said, I have to see what they look like. As we move in this hall, to my surprise, brothers and friend, I look and I saw like a library where there were hundreds and hundreds of books, well accommodated in an impressive way. It was clearly beautiful the way they have arranged the books. I look at them and I say in my thoughts, Lord, you brought me here, but there are only books. I do not want to see books, I want to see the angels, and I want to talk to them. The Lord led me to a kind of beautiful desk. There was a big chair with metal decorated on its back with all kinds of wonderful precious stone. Beside that chair there was another chair pretty beautiful like the previous one. I remember the Lord sat on the chair that was decorated with precious stone. He pulls out a thick book and puts it on the desk. I stood looking at books. I went to get a book. I start reading the header of books. One of the book drew my attention. It was called Every Disobedient Christian is a Rebel. I grabbed the book and I started reading it. I realized that the book was similar to the Bible. The difference is that letters in this book were like metal. They were impelled on the sheets. Actually, each letter was producing its own light like a lamp, and each letter had a different color, and paragraph were forming unbreakable colors. You may ask, brothers, what color is it? The truth is that in heaven I observed colors that really do not exist on earth. They have never been seen on earth, and we can never assimilate them to something, for there is no such thing on earth. Jesus tells me to put the book back on its place. When I was trying to put it back to its place, another book that caught my attention. I took it and opened it. This book was dealing with angelic matter and mysteries concerning angels. The Lord tells me to leave it. He said, do not waste your time because this is angelical. And for the last time the Lord said, come with a voice higher in authority like a big brother. I left the book I got to him at the desk. When I got to him I saw that he was crying painfully. He says these words, Zavi, my son, listen very well what I will tell you today, for you will speak to my people without adding and removing anything. I said, yes, Lord, but I did not understand why he cried in that moment, and he told me to sit down. I say, Lord, do not worry, I'm fine, I'm not tired. The Lord was crying without consolation, and for a moment I thought he cried because of me. I thought that I had offended him and I started to cry. I also could not contain myself. Jesus said, Zavi, wake up from your sleep and get up from the dead and illuminate Christian. I want you to go to earth and I want you to go to my people and give a message to my people. There are thousands of religions on the face of the earth and every religion professes salvation. They all speaks of a God. But I want you to go to my people and tell them that I'm not coming back for any religious. I'm not coming back for those who profess to be Christian and hold a Bible. I am coming back for those who have been washed with the blood of the Lamb. I am coming back for those who do my Father will. I am coming back for a holy church, clean without spot and without wrinkles, a church that has remained in truth of my word, a church that has cost me. The Lord tells me, I know mine. I come for a church that has cost me tears, torment and insult. It is a church that live in the Word. in holiness and obedience to the word. Tell them that I'm coming back. When I hear this word, brother, I was truly frightened. I was scared by the seriousness of the Lord. I was shocked, but I was paying attention because I had already committed that I would speak His word like that.